The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on Tom's Radio Toronto are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of Tom's Radio Toronto or its staff. These broadcasts are presented and made public as entertainment and general information only, in the hope that they will be entertaining and informative to listeners. They are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or mitigate in any way any disease or condition, or to promote any specific lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice, nor is the information presented necessarily accurate or verifiable.
Good afternoon, Toronto. My name is Josie Slur, and this is Health and Wellness Program. This program is always every Friday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. every Friday. And we know what we talk in this program. We talk about how to maintain your good health and how to maintain your wellness in general. When I'm talking about wellness, I'm talking about mental wellness. I'm talking about physical wellness. I'm talking about spiritual wellness. You know, you cannot say you are well without balancing the three items: spirit, body, and soul. When you feed your physical body, that means you also need to feed your soul and your spirit. How do you feed your soul is to put inside you, or to bring inside you, all the things which motivates you and keeps you healthy. So I've been talking from different angles and different topics, but today I want to me and you viewers, I want to discuss the issue of caregivers. When I'm talking about caregivers, I'm talking about family members, I'm talking about children, I'm talking about distant relatives, I'm talking about the wife and husband, I'm talking about the caregivers who comes to our homes to support our loved ones. You know, when we talk about physical health and wellness, it tackles everybody around you. Unfortunately, the medical system in our country is only looking after the patient as the center. The client is the center focus of all the treatment and medication. But sometimes the client or the patient might not be affected more than the caregivers, than the wife, than the husband, than the children, than the caregivers who are coming in. How do we watch? How do we look after them? This is what we want to discuss today. Please, viewers, you can call me through Skype, Tom's Radio through our Skype, but then you can watch us live on YouTube channel, Facebook. Don't forget to follow our Facebook page, and don't even forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, and you can listen to all our programs. Greetings to all friends who are watching right now, and greetings to everyone who is going to watch the program later. I love you all. I love you all. The weather is very good in Toronto down here, but it's too hot. I'm just coming from outside. It's extremely hot. You know, this heat is more than African heat. I always, people tell me, why do you feel too hot when you come to Africa? I said, yeah, in Africa we have the high temperatures, but our humidity are moisturized, but this is too dry. So you really feel the heat. Yeah, you can call us. You can call 416-900-5864, and I can connect you live in the studio here. So let us start. Before we continue, I would like to discuss something today about the military culture. How the culture of the military is, and how the veterans' families are coping with ups and downs of the militaries. You know, I was watching what is going on in Afghanistan shortly before I came to the studio, And I could see how those military people, our military personnel from Canada, from US, how they are trying to rescue those people. Then only one question came to me. They're doing a very risky job. So I asked myself, if my husband or my son could be among those soldiers, how or what situation I could be in now? I don't know if we really ask that questions. And the second thing, I was watching one of the YouTube last night when I was thinking about the militaries. There was one of very famous broadcaster who was doing hockey games broadcasting. I don't want to mention the name of that gentleman. So that gentleman had to drop down simply because he said people should wear poppies. And he was trying to emphasize his statement that I will still stand with my statement that people should wear those red flowers. I call it red flowers. I like red. Red is my color. So I connected all those stuff together. I said, okay, what was the meaning of that statement? And then I looked at the video, how those soldiers in Afghanistan trying to rescue the people to board the planes to fly them to Canada and the US. Then I said, okay, what's up? Something like a bomb falls there. How many people are going to die? I understand there was news. People died already. They threw a bomb, and 4 soldiers, I think, if I'm not sure, if I'm not correct, but I didn't have much time to go in details and watch the news, but I had something like 4 soldiers and a number of people died in Afghanistan because someone among the group just did something, the bomb. So I started to think the veterinaries' families or the members of the families who their husbands, their sons and daughters are on different missions all over the world trying to rescue people. How are they feeling? And who is taking care of them? This is my question. Who is taking care of them? Does the government care for these family extension members? Because when you talk about the family, you don't only talk the close family. You also have to understand how the feeling goes to distant families too. I'm here in Canada. My mom is back in Tanzania, but I understand he never sleeps when I tell her I'm not feeling well. Now I'm trying to figure out if she sees me going to the war zone, how she's going to feel. I believe she is going to be more sick than me, because for the soldiers who are in war zone, they do that job because they like it. They like to, it's in their heart, it's in their feelings. You can't become a soldier if you don't have the feelings, if you don't have that passion. So they do that because they have the passion, but they don't, and sometimes they make hard decisions no matter what the family advised them. Because the families may say no, but if the son says, Mom, I want to be a soldier, that person will go to be a soldier. I remember when my son was growing, now he turned to football, soccer game, but before he wanted to be a soldier and policeman. Then I was telling him every day, I said, really? You want to become a soldier? You are going to leave Mama very soon. Then he asked me why. I started to show him those war movies and how the soldiers are fighting and dying. Then he said, Mama, I don't want to leave you alone. I'm not going to be a soldier. So how do we take care of these families? What kind of care they're supposed to have? Because these people are not sick. physically, but these people are mentally sick. If your son is in that situation as a mother, sister, brother, husband, you become mentally ill. And today, I want us to discuss, how do we extend help to those people? Is there any service from the government, from the military itself? Because the military have its own culture. What do they do? I managed to visit, I forgot to bring a picture today. I managed to visit Walter Reed Hospital in the United States and see those wounded soldiers. I could see young gentlemen with their wives, with their mothers, how they were getting psychology help. But is that enough for them? Because they're the ones taking care of them every day. How do we take care of the caregivers when they have mental problems? Unfortunately, our system does not think about it. We have been having pandemic. We have PSWs, we have nurses, we have doctors. I've been asking most of my friends, because I know how much I've been affected too, just visiting families, having friends around me who have been affected, how it affected my mental wellness. I've been thinking 24/7. There was a time I got sick. Simply, my friend is sick. My client got sick. I was all the time in high blood pressure, thinking what is going to happen next to me. But who is to take care of these people who are taking care of us, who have been taking care of the people who have been sick, people who have been having problems? Do we realize today that there are some caregivers, their behaviors, their characters have changed simply because of the pandemic situation of taking care of different people around them? And how do we help them? Do we have any service from the government to support them? No. Do they know what to do? No. I have people who they really don't know what to do. But if you talk to them, they are mentally disturbed. Do we wait until they are down, depressed? Do we wait until that anxiety overwhelms them? Because when you become sick, or when your loved one becomes sick, and you have been taking care of him or her, or you have been taking care of friends or people who have been sick, it doesn't matter how physically you look fit. What matters is that continuous excitement you're getting every day. How does it affect you? How does it overwhelm your body? How does it change your behaviors, your characters? How does it change you, your personality, your identity? How does it construct you as a new person? You know, these issues have to be discussed. When we are talking the post-pandemic, we have to talk about the caregivers and the mental wellness effects they are facing now. A lot of people, when you walk around, when you see them, they have changed. They are not themselves anymore. I'm challenging you now. Just watch. If your wife, your sister, your brother has been working during this pandemic, watch the behavior. Watch the changes in her, in him. If you have a husband, a wife, maybe has been sick in one way and you have to take care of him or you have to follow up. Just watch your behaviors and characters, how you could observe the changes within yourselves. And how are you going to take care of yourself with this post? I call them post pandemic behaviors. Although it's not, because nobody's thinking about this. Nobody is talking about the post-pandemic behaviors, changes, I could say changes in life. Because the pandemic has created different changes, whether you've been sick or not sick. It has created changes in ourselves. It has constructed us in a very different way. Today, including me, I'm scared to be in the groups of people. I'm scared to be among people. I'm scared to be in a gathering. Why? I'm scared to meet people who I don't meet them every time. So if you're a new person and you work different angle, I'm scared to see you. Sometimes I'm even scared of my daughter who works in a different setting of environment. Every time we come back home, I said, okay, you know what, guys? We have to go to shower, wash our hands, and then let's meet on the table. You know why? You can't show them these feelings, but these feelings are not voluntary. They're involuntary. They just come automatic in your body. They just happen. Sometimes even you don't understand. You don't need to feel them, but people can see the changes. But I'm challenging you today. Observe the people around you. How this pandemic has changed them. How this post-pandemic, the fear of the fourth variant or breakout, because now the numbers, I don't know what are the figures today. How many people are working with this kind of anxiety, fear? And how many people their mental awareness have been destroyed because of this kind of fear and anxiety? Let's go for a short break. When I come back, we are going to discuss in details how these caregivers have been affected more than the patients. And maybe we should start thinking how to take care of the caregivers. Maybe we should start thinking to extend to see how we can get the services. DJ Owen, take us for a short break, and then I'll be back and discuss this issue.
Our company is committed to providing truthful, honest, competent, and result-oriented service through advising and representing our clients in Canada and overseas in a wide range of immigration matters. We focus on providing support, building dependable relationships, and promoting success. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf.
thank you to all our sponsors. You see all the advertisement. Those are our sponsors. Please watch them very well. And if you have a need, I can see Harina Becker shoppers here. And I can see the lawyers. Please, when you have any need, approach them. This is why we put them. And stay tuned with other programs. And let us continue with our discussions. We have so many things going on now in Tom's Radio, and I'm really delighted, and I'm really happy with that. I was talking about how the family members are affected mentally simply because of the situations, how the children are affected. So let me say this. A lot of people go and see the psychologist, they see other therapists, but they forget the issues of occupational therapists. The occupational therapists are they are also type of therapists whereby most of the time when you involve them in the issues, in the cases, they extend their service scope broadly to check on the environment of the house. When they talk about the environment of the house, they talk about the caregivers around you too. They talk about the family members. They talk about the kids. And it's easy to understand and see if those people are affected, if those people have problems, if those people need care, they extend that care to different people, and you find that you all receive the care. So I'm really giving this as an advice. Let us view people around us. Let us look at the people's behaviors and characters right now, especially those people who are close to us, especially the people who we live with them together. Do you see any changes? Do you see any behavior change around them? We need to address these issues before it's too late. Because when you are talking of an illness is not a one-day thing. An illness is a progressive problem. The way you feel yourself today, you might not think that does not affect you. But believe me, it really affects you. And in a long run, it's going to be chronic, because one sickness creates another sickness. Like one problem in the body creates another problem. The way the neurons are connected, the way the muscles are connected, the way the bones are connected. This is how, when problem comes to your body, connect to each other. And they start to weaken one point after another. By the time you feel it, you are completely done. Remember, I always say, the body and minds are connected. There is no way your body can be sick and your mind can be okay. There is no way your mind can be sick and your body remains okay. These stuff are connected. Every pain in your body, every symptom in your body, it first started with your brain. How the brain observes different things and then accumulate it and translate to hormonic stuff, and those hormones generated some chemicals, and those chemicals affected your body, and that's why you're feeling pain. You don't feel pain from nowhere. And this is why I advise you today, whatever symptom, whatever behavior change you feel today, whatever behavior changes you observe to your loved one, to to your mom, to your sister, to your brother, to your husband, to your wife, to the caregiver who is taking care of you. Please, think out of the box. These are the post-pandemic changes. We are going to face them. And this is why I'm telling people, I'm trying to remind people and say, you know what? Life will never be the same anymore, because this pandemic has strained us to the maximum. Whether you're a business person, you are an employee, employer, or anyone, this pandemic has stressed us to the maximum. And because of the stress, we are going to experience a post-pandemic behavior changes. And these behavior changes is going to affect our mental wellness. And once our mental wellness is affected, our physical body will never, ever be the same. What do we do now? We have the responsibility to take care of each other. We have the responsibility to monitor ourselves, our friends, and advise them. Our children, our siblings, everybody has been affected. If you see any behavior change, don't remain silent, because that behavior change is going to affect your future. It's going to affect your tomorrow. That behavior change is constructing something new in your body. You will not be the same. And since you are not going to be the same, you will continue to experience difficulties, problems. Every day you will see this and that. And then you're going to ask yourself, what is happening? What is happening with me? Why am I talking this today? I'm talking this today because I always say, a sickness is not a one-day thing. A sickness is a prolonged diagnosis, and it develops slowly. Any illness has been in your body for years before it develops openly. It's until when you become completely break down, that's when the illness now take position to manifest. So we have children in the houses. We see them. We see how their behaviors has been changed. We see how the parents are struggling with those children. Please advise them to go and see the doctors. Don't remain silent, because this is the time now, after the bad lockdowns, pandemic, serious death of our loved ones, this is the time now to observe ourselves. And how are you going to observe yourself? Just watch out. Watch out your daily routine. Watch out your body, how it responds to different problems. Watch yourself, how you communicate now, how you handle your stuff, how you organize yourself. All those things will affect you. But we give you a hint on how or what you should do. For our caregivers, the nurses, the doctors, they have changed a lot. I have friends who are nurses. I have friends who are doctors. When I talk to them, I reached a point of just listening because I could feel it, that they are not the people I used to talk to. They are not the people I used to laugh with. Things have changed. And all these changes are going to affect us in a long time way. You will not see the problem today. But if you are clever enough, you can see those effects, differences, and it's the right time to go and check yourself. Don't wait until it is worse. I know sometimes it's difficult to get doctor's appointment right now. It's very difficult to call your doctor. I've been calling my doctor for my hands after getting infection with this different disinfectant. I've not been able to reach him. I call him, he keeps asking me so many questions. I reached a point of giving up. But for mental wellness, please don't give up. It's something you are not allowed to give up. For body problems, anything, any changes you see with your body today, any changes, you realize, you see your wife is going through, you see your husband is experiencing, you see your caregiver who comes at home is experiencing, you see your kids, please report to your doctor to get help. There are a lot of help right now. I was told with a friend last week, Sunnybrook has a special program and it gives help. But then I also noticed in the website, government website, when you go to the pandemic site, there's also a session whereby you can call for help if you have any problem, not with vaccine, but this problem might not only be coming because of vaccine, but also because of the post-traumatic situation we had with the pandemic. Some people say trauma is a very strong word, but believe me, when we talk the pandemic effects on us, it's more than a traumatic situation we have been facing in our life. And this has been affecting us in a different way. I was telling you last few weeks that sometimes, for me, if you ask me what really affects my mentally during the pandemic, I could tell you, I said, the pandemic has affected me very serious. It affected me because everything I was using, like disinfectant, give me rashes, burnt my skins. If you see my face, it was damaged completely because of mask. My skin is so soft. Once I put mask for more than 2 hours, not only 2 hours, even 30 minutes, I developed rashes, the whole face. Going to the mirror, looking at my face that way, it affected me mentally. I kept buying products until I spent a lot of money just to fix myself. How many people had such kind of problem? I can't deny that affected me mentally because I could not see myself. I saw a lot of changes, but for some people it's not that way. For some people it's that loneliness gave them depression. For some people, lack of finances, loss of jobs has affected them mentally. And because they are affected mentally, that behavior change affects their environment around them. If the wife changes behavior simply because of what she's going through, she has lost her job, She has no enough money. She has lost a loved one. That person can never be the same. What do you do as a caregiver? What do you do as a husband? You don't need to quarrel and fight. And this is the reason why there were a lot of divorces and separation during this pandemic. Do we need to fight at this time? No. Do we need to quarrel at this time? No. Why? Because whatever we are experiencing has been caused because of certain situations. I thought maybe different programs, the government could bring different programs now to handle these post-pandemic behavior changes among the people, among the doctors, among the therapists, among the caregivers, just to give support. So I'm telling you now, a hospital like Sunnybrook, it has that kind of service. I think you can call Sunnybrook. There's a department whereby it only supports you. It only supports this kind of issues. And I believe more people are going to give a chance to give this kind of support of post-pandemic behavioral changes. It's really a very, very big problem. So when we are talking about good health, I was thinking good health cannot be if we all suffer the post-traumatic situations. How can we be healthy if I'm still suffering the post-sicknesses? I'm still feeling anxiety. I'm still worried. I'm still having fear somehow, somewhere. My body still shakes sometimes. I cannot step. I feel my body, I'm not stable. You know, sometimes you can feel yourself. Maybe you sweat too much. You know, we all respond to stress in a different way. Some people feel too hot. They sweat too much. Some people have adapted to coldness. They feel cold all the time. That is post-traumatic behavioral change. Some people feel they don't want to talk. Some people feel like crying. I met someone this morning. She only wants to, she was telling me, I'm crying a lot every night. I asked him, why are you crying? Why are you crying? I said, I don't know. I'm just crying. I said, okay, what happened to your family around you? I said, no, when I see things around, when I think about I cry. You know, you cannot explain this to our doctors in Canada. They understand you. Very few will understand that. Some people they're just chance to be cold war. Every time they feel cold, no matter how hot it is. Some people, they feel too hot. Some people, you talk to them 2 words, it's done. When you add the 3rd word, they're up. Those are kind of behavior changes I'm talking about. And these issues, we need to handle them today, not tomorrow. We need to see how our children are behaving right now. There are a lot of differences. I'm very sure the teachers are going to have a lot of problems now. They are going to have a lot of problems now. You know why? These kids have been in the houses. And in our houses there, a lot of things have happened. And because a lot of things have happened, direct or indirect, those things have affected the kids. When I'm talking these things, I'm not giving exception. I'm a mother of 3 kids. I monitor and watch all this stuff. I will tell you, all my kids have lost weight now. Despite they eat a lot, but they are losing weight. And I understand them. I know why they are, because they are anxious. They don't tell me that they are anxious, but I can see them when I'm talking to them. I can see them how they are anxious. Like I have one, sometimes I know my kids. I've been with them since they are born. I know when they change. Do you monitor that? I see my neighbors, because these people have been with them for 3 years, for 2 years. I know them. When today they talk to me, I can feel the changes. And how do I handle this? There are ways to handle these issues to our caregivers. Time is running so fast. I'm going to close my program today, but this is health and wellness, and this is the topic I talk about this every day. So next week, we are going to discuss how can you monitor yourself? How can you see the changes in you? Some people have changed to the behavior of sleeping too much. You know, during pandemic, we kept the lockdown, we were watching movies for a long time. So people were staying awake for a long time and go to bed late. They cannot change just now. That has become their behavior. But changing it to fit the next future is hard. And they are struggling with that. Only that kind of struggle affects their mental wellness. Only that kind of struggle affects their mental wellness. What do we do? Dear viewers, I know we have a lot to talk, but allow me to continue with this next week. Please continue to watch your programs. Wisdom Show is coming. We also have news at 4, and we have African Cooking Show, Extravaganza. So please stay tuned and continue to watch us. Remain safe, stay safe, keep distance. Pandemic is not over, and take care of yourself. See you next week. Bye-bye for now.